We're learning the thing about the about Yud Shvat. Yud Shvat is going to be this Shabbat. Yud Shvat is the day that the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe passed away, Rebbe Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson. He passed away in 1950. And 1 year after that, our Rebbe officially took the lead, took over the leadership of Chabad, and consequently the whole world. Oh, Rebbe. So the Rebbe said that the whole essence of the future redemption depends on education. The future redemption depends on education. That everyone should know the feel the godliness in the Torah, the godliness which is in the Torah, or as is common called the secrets of the Torah. And this can be hinted at by, it says that the Jewish people will go out with an upraised head. Resh Gilei and Beresh are the first letters which hint at Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who began to reveal Kabbalah. Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, that he explained the ideas of Kabbalah, but only to special people, to the Baal Shem Tov, that the Baal Shem Tov, he started spreading out the Chassidut, but in a very simple way, to simple people, stories and things like this, about how good it is to be a Jew and how wonderful God is, and how there's miracles by tzaddikim, and that God did not, there's always a Moses in every generation. And finally, by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, is also hinted at in the letters Beresh Gilei, in the Aramaic translation of with an upraised head. The Jews went out of Egypt. Beresh means upraised head, hinted at by also the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. All right. So that's what the previous Rebbe did. The previous Rebbe said Maimorim in Yiddish, in the language of the simple people, and eventually this was translated in all sorts of different languages, so that people could understand the basic ideas of Chassidut, namely the oneness of God, the closeness of God, how God cares about what we do, how God gets pleasure from what we do, that what God wants is that we should make this world into a perfect place, that loving God and fearing God and serving God is close to everyone, that, and on the other hand, God is infinitely, infinitely far from us, far than you can possibly imagine. There's no end to the highness of what God is. Therefore, even the holiest Jew has to do tshuva. On the other hand, God is infinitely, infinitely close to us, closer than we are to ourselves. Therefore, even the biggest sinner, and God is close to him as well. And it's possible for everyone to serve God. These are basic ideas of Chassidut. The Baal Shem Tov said, we did this 1 second. Yeah, we did this. Sorry. The Baal Shem Tov just said stories, and the Rebbe explained the deep ideas of Chassidut to everyone. All right. Oh, well, maybe we didn't do it. Oh. 1 second. 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. The Baal Shem Tov, he said, like we said before, he brought down the ideas of Chassidut into stories. And and he sold these stories to simple people. And he said short little sayings, you should you should know that whatever is above is from you, and things like this. Is Hagam, that even though that the Torah, these short Torah words that he said and his stories were concealed secrets of secrets, but the simple people, all they really got were the stories. or maybe a little bit sort of a word, but they didn't really get the true inside meaning of these stories. They just felt that there's something really deep there, but they didn't know what it was. The secrets, which are really inside of these words, they didn't really get. The previous Rebbe, though, he revealed in Torah Hasidut that everyone can understand even the deepest ideas. He had brought down in very simple things, in simple letters, the deepest ideas of Kabbalah. The previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. The idea, of course, is to inspire people to love God and to do the commandments and learn Torah. But they had received, when he spoke Hasidut, and a little bit of the secrets of the Torah, every single person that listened to him received. So in other words, not just the general impression that there's something deep inside of the Torah, but actually ideas, Kabbalistic ideas, which brought people to love and fear and have faith in God and do Torah and the commandments, the previous Rebbe brought. Thus, Shtel in Afatzas Torah Chasidus is a Zoy Ofen, and therefore he's, how do you say, his attitude starts spreading out of the ideas of Hasidut, which demanded which brought about a people to start preparing for the arrival of Moshiach. This is a very important thing. What are we supposed to do for Moshiach? Essentially, Moshiach is something that God is going to bring. It's something that's beyond our understanding. So what are we supposed to do? Is exactly that. We're supposed to prepare ourselves for something that's totally beyond our understanding. But you have to have a little bit of an idea what it means. I mean, so he says that's the ideas of Kabbalah that the Rebbe brought, to understand the greatness of God, to understand the goodness of God, and to understand that the greatness of God and the awesomeness of God is totally incomprehensible. But on the other hand, it is goodness and it is awe. Even though it's totally incomprehensible, nothing, but at least that puts us in the direction of knowing something in general, what we're supposed to be expecting, that there's going to be huge, huge, amazing surprises and revelations, which the Moshiach will bring these things into a revealed way to all the Jews and eventually to the whole world, which therefore there has to be a preparation for this. Like I said before, Moshiach is not going to come to force everyone to do what he wants to against their will. No, he's going to force everyone by convincing them to change their minds according to their true inner nature. The spreading of Torah Hasidus to all of the Jews is an open way. This is the preparation. This is the job which the Rebbe took on himself to do. Prepare the world actually for this revelations of knowledge and awareness of God that Mashiach is going to bring in this world. I mean, usually a person has to die, right? He goes up to heaven, he gets these big revelations of God. Those are amazing revelations. A person has to die in order to receive them. The mind can't grasp them. The body interferes. Mashiach will make it that not only will the mind and the body not interfere, but the mind and the body, that'll be part of the miracle that Mashiach is going to reveal godliness in. Our own minds, our own personalities, will realize what an amazing miracle they are. We won't have to leave them. God will be revealed in this world. The Rebbe was the one which took this precious stone in the crown of the king, which depends up the whole entire importance of the crown, like the example which is given, which I'll tell you what that is in just a minute. And he brought that translated into English and to Francis and to French and etc. and had therefore made understandable that the Rebbe was the one which had made really the last preparations for the Moshiach. The Rebbe said that all the buttons on our suits are already shined up. The Rebbe already did all the work. The Gula Mitis, which is the Rambam said, depends the whole entire. The Rambam said exactly what's going to happen. Moshiach is going to come. He's going to fight the battles of God. He's going to make all the Jews do tshuva. He's going to bring the Holy Temple into Jerusalem. He's going to bring all the Jews to Israel. The beginning is that the Mashiach will. What does the Rambam say? That there will stand up a king from Beis David, and he will learn Torah, and he'll do commandments like David, his forebearer. And he'll do the Torah mitzvahs according to the written Torah and the oral Torah. And then he will convince the Jews to go in the way of the Torah. And then he will strengthen Judaism everywhere. And then he'll make war against that's what we're learning about Bati Lagani, making war against all the ignorance and selfishness in the world. And then he will succeed. And then he will build the Holy Temple in its place. And then he will gather all of the Jews. And then he will fix up the whole entire world to serve God. That's what Moshiach is going to do. Like the prophet said, and now that our redemption is like going to be even greater than the days that we left Egypt. Big miracles. In a way, which God says, I will show you miracles that will make the miracles going when we left Egypt, it'll make them seem normal, mundane. We'll go out and Yad Ramah, Baresh Gilei, that's what it says, Baresh, which hints at the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Yitzchak ben Shlomo, the Arizal, and the Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem, the Baal Shem Tov, and the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe Yosef Yitzchak ben Shalom, and a Reish Gilei by means of Mashiach Tzidkeinu B'Korov Mamash. Let me just tell you a little bit, if you don't know, so I'll tell you again, the example of the thing. It says that once the Alter Rebbe was walking in the street with Pinchas Rezus and the Maggid of Mezritch. The Maggid of Mezritch was the leader, and I think it was Rabbi Pinchas Rezus, and he was very against. Pinchas Rezus was very against spreading out the ideas of Chassidut. He said it made it cheap, and the Maggid of Mezritch was very in favor, and they saw a page of Hasidic teachings from the Maggid of Mezritch laying in the gutter, on the street, in the filth. And Rabbi Pinchas Rezus, he said, Pinchas Mikoretz, I'm sorry. Rabbi Pinchas of Koretz, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Rabbi Pinchas Mikoretz, he said, this is the result of what you're doing. The holiness of the Torah is laying in the gutter. And the Alter Rebbe said, I want to tell a metaphor to explain why this is a good thing. That the teachings, the holy teachings of the secrets of the Torah are in the gutter. Why is it a good thing? So once upon a time, there was a king. This king had a only son, and his only son got sick, and he got sicker and sicker, and the king tried everything, nothing worked, and the son was on the verge of death. Suddenly there came in one wise man and said, there's a cure for what the son has. I know what the disease is, and I know what the cure is, but I don't know if you're going to do it. The cure is that you have to take the diamond that's in the top of your crown, it's like the whole glory of your crown, and grind it up. If you figure out a way to do that, that's going to be amazing. Then you have to put it into water, and then you have to pour a little bit, get your son to drink it. But he's in pretty bad shape, your son, so it's a big doubt if any of it is really going to go into his mouth or not. And if it does go in, it's a big doubt if he'll swallow it. But if he swallows even a little bit of it, then he'll live. So the king said, I'm in for it. It's a doubt, a super, super doubt, but I'm willing to do it. So this wise man said, I know how to crush it up. And he crushed up the diamond and he put it into water. And sure enough, they started pouring into the sun and all of it just didn't even go into his mouth. So they figured out a way to sort of open up his mouth. Maybe they put a straw in there or something, and they poured water into the straw. And sure enough, the king's son spit it out. But they kept trying, and they whatever massaged his throat or whatever it did, and a little drop went into the and the king's son swallowed it. And as soon as he did, he opened up his eyes and he felt better. He said, "What is this like? The king is God. King's son is the Jewish people. The Jewish people are in a comatic state. They're on the verge of death. If somebody doesn't do something quick, it's going to be the end of the Jewish people. We have to give them happiness. We have to give them meaning." Right? This is after the Chmielnitsky, his destruction, and Shabbatai Tzvi, and then the Maskilim that were just tearing away from Judaism. The joy of Judaism was gone. They said we have to do so. We have to take the secrets of the Torah, the gem of the Torah. We have to crush it up and make it a chassidut. And then we have to try to get it to the Jewish people however we can. And a lot of it will be rejected, but if one little drop goes in, then that person will be saved. And that person will, on the other hand, enliven others to show the happiness of Judaism. Make this. And what you saw in the gutter, that was some of the king's crown that was spit out, or that didn't go in. But it was worth it in order to save the king's son. So that's what the Frierdiker Rebbe was doing. The previous Rebbe took the secrets and he was spreading them out all over. And you should know that the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe met tremendous opposition from other religious Jews. Tremendous opposition. When he was in Poland, when he was in America, and now is not the time to talk about it. In fact, never is the time to talk about it, but that was the fact. Just like King David, people didn't like it, and like Moses didn't like it. And for good reason. Here's the secrets of the Torah were laying in the gutter, right? Not good. But nevertheless, that is what saves the Jewish people, and that is what happened on Yud Shvat. On Yud Shvat, the previous Rebbe, he finished his work, and he gave it over to the Rebbe Shlita Melech HaMashiach to fix the world up. And the Rebbe said, it's already here. It's already, we just have to, 1 second, it's going to be a big change in the world. So we're waiting for it, God willing. Now, today we're going to learn at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is going to be our class here. We have to learn the Yom for today. And like I said, tomorrow morning, if you don't come to the 3 o'clock class, which is a good class, you should try to come to it. We learn Chumash with Rashi, with Chumash with Meforshim, the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, the Ramban, the Kli Yakar. It's pretty nice, Forno. And today we're going to learn about the Korban Pesach, the Paschal Lamb, and going out of Egypt, the actual death of the firstborn, and the matzah, to eat matzah. We're going to learn about that. Here it is, Yom. Let's just do this. I just want to remind everybody, tomorrow morning, the class will be from 8 o'clock until 8:45. There won't be a Sichos class tomorrow. Okay, somebody invited me to a bar mitzvah. In the morning bar mitzvah. Today is the 8th day, right? 7th day. When the Alter Rebbe was 9 years old, he learned physics and astronomy. When he was 10 years old, he made a calendar for 15 years. When he was 12 years old, it happened to be that he gave a class on the whole topic of sanctifying the month. You know, they used to do this in the Holy Temple, how to sanctify the month now according to the Rambam, very complicated laws. And it says that all the other geniuses and the great Torah scholars that were there, he said they were completely overwhelmed by what he said. The first Rebbe of Chabad. God bless you all. Have a good day with Moshiach now. Thank you very much for coming. And 1 second. 1 second. Let me see here. 1 second. Oh, Rabbi Bolton, you once told about the broken vessels and how the darkness came to be. It was too great to grasp, but it's important to understand, and maybe you can repeat it. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about it. Not right now, because now I have to, right? So it's a we'll talk about it, God willing, tomorrow. I hope. If I forget tomorrow, tell me. I'll do it at 3:00 tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 8:00, Chassidut. See you all tomorrow. And today, 3:00. Shalom and bracha.